What is up guys, just wanted to make a video today talking about what I think should be implemented in Dead Frontier in the next few months or so. At least one of the ideas. And you can feel free to agree with me or disagree with me, I don't mind. These are just my ideas, these are not things that are in the game or have to be in the game, they're just ideas. Anyway, let's dive right into this. So first, I think you should maybe in the future add some sort of roadblocks that completely block off the section of the road so that you can't actually get past them at all. You have to go into a building or up a ladder or through a subway or a sewer to get past them. You know, like an alternative route sort of thing. I'll put up a picture of what I mean, you can probably envision what I mean, but there's a picture there for you guys who don't know what the hell I mean anyway. So, we're just going to jump into Vegas here quickly to show you guys what I mean. So, when I said barricades, what I mean is, you know, block this entire section off here. You know, just fill it all up with some stuff so that you can't get past. And what you'd want to do is like find an alternative route all the way back here. You know, maybe a drain or something. You know, you go down the drain and you go underneath the sewers, go under that, come out the other side. You know, an alternative route. Makes the game a little bit less boring. You know, maybe there's a boss down there that you have to kill to be able to get onto the other side of the street or whatever. Or maybe, you know, like you've got these ladders that go up the side of buildings here. Maybe you could take one of these up to the top, you know, be forced to fight a boss up the top of one of these buildings up here. You know, rooftop battle with the boss up here. And then maybe you could come down this side of the building on the other side of the barricade. You know, it's all ideas. It just makes the game a little bit less linear and gives a little bit more variety to the player. And you know, it doesn't have to be like this throughout every single city that you go in. You know, it could just be like every other city that you come across every now and then. You know, this is like an obstacle that you have to overcome. You know, it doesn't have to be every city. Now, that's not what I'm saying, so don't think that. It's just, you know, a one-off thing. Anyway, idea number 2. I know a lot of you are going to hate me for saying this, but turn the Tendril into a mob. Yeah. Let that one sink in. The reason I think you should do that is because the zombies at the minute just are not a threat at all. And I feel like if there was, you know, 2 or 3 zombie mobs, like slash tendril monsters running about, it would be more of a like intense game. And only in the level 20 zones, you know, no level 15 zones should have that type of monster. Because at the minute you can just get a level 5 and go into the level 20 zones, and you pretty much, it's so easy if you've got the right build for it, you know. If you're using a gun, you're just gonna fly through the level 20 zones at level 5, and that just shouldn't be a thing. You weren't able to fight zombies in like the high level zones in Dead Frontier 1, so why should you be allowed to do it in this game? I feel like if you balance that by adding the tendrils as a mob instead of a boss, it would make the game a bit more difficult. Now, I'm not saying have the full HP that the tendril currently has, or the power that it has. I feel like the attack speed that it has is, you know, threatening enough, and keep the running speed for the tendril as well. So basically I just want it to be able to run the same and attack the same, but with less damage and less HP. Maybe change the HP to that of a burner zombie and change the damage to that of a burner zombie so that it mimics it, but it's more of a threat of a zombie because it never stops sprinting. And also don't go overkill on this, you know, maybe add like 2, 3 in one room at max, you know, that's going to scare the shit out of people, and you know, it's going to make the game a little bit more interesting, because at the minute it's way too easy, and you know, people who are like level 5 can go into level 20 zones and just laugh. Just try it out, you know, try it out for 1 month, see what the players feel about it. If they don't like it, get rid of it. If they do like it, keep it, you know. I feel like a lot of people will complain about that, you know, people are complaining about the leeches that have just been brought in, but you know, it appeals more to the hardcore player, so I feel like you should maybe just take a risk and do that instead of catering for the people who just want the game to be easy and a walk in the park and a breeze, because, you know, that's not what this game should be about. It shouldn't be easy, it shouldn't be like a walk in the park, it should be difficult, and, you know, you should have to progress to things and like learn how to fight things, and you know, the Tendril wasn't a boss in the first game, so why is it a boss in this game? It doesn't really make much sense to me. You know, bring back the Wraith. The Wraith was so scary, you know. Just make the Tendril evolve and work on the Wraith maybe, you know, as a boss. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble here, I'm just going to tie that one up. So yeah, make the Tendril into a mob with less HP and less attack damage, but keep the running speed and the attack speed. That is all. Anyway, next one. So, number 3 is the Mother. Now, I know you've already buffed the leeches, and that is a step in the right direction, I believe. It's good that you've done that. It's a little bit of a buff. It's made the boss a little bit harder. I think one more little thing that you should add is give the Mother the ability to puke. You know, it's still like on its own without the leeches, which you can kill off very easily. It's a pretty easy boss, and probably by far the easiest boss in the game, apart from the mutated zombie bosses. So I think giving the Mother the ability to puke might put it up there with, you know, the likes of the Choir and the Titan, and yeah, it's not quite the Titan, but you know, you get what I'm saying. It's just a little bit of a buff to a very easy boss. So yeah, that's number 3, guys. Number 4. Okay, this might mess up the whole game. I don't know how this would affect the game at all, to be honest. But bring back risk reward. You know, instead of having the players only able to loot according to the level, make it so that it was like old Dead Frontier, where, you know, if you went to the higher level zone, you could sort of like, you know, loot higher level items. Not necessarily be able to wear them, but you could loot them and sell them if you were willing to take that risk. You know, I liked the idea of the risk reward system. You know, and as I've said, I don't know how this would affect the game in its current state, and to be honest, I don't think this is one of the updates that you should do at this very minute in time, but I would like to see it in the future, just because the map isn't big enough, and you know, it's too easy to travel around to level 20 zones, quickly loot something and get out. You know, it's not like the old game where you had to travel for miles and miles and miles to get there. You know, you're just instantly there. So yeah, don't add this idea in just yet, but think about it in the future when the map's massively bigger. Okay, number 5. Now, I was talking to my friend last night about hordes, and he agrees with me that they're still too small, even when they're in their biggest form. And I believe the biggest amount of zombies that you can come up against at the moment is about 20, if I'm correct in saying that. Maybe 18 at the lowest, I'm not too sure. But we think that you should double that number. I don't know how that will affect the game performance, or if there will become major FPS issues or anything like that. But, you know, we agreed that, like, even 20 zombies, you know, and most of them runners, is still not really a threat towards any player. You know, it doesn't like feel like, oh god, I need to get out of here. You know, there's obviously the odd moments where they catch you out for a couple of seconds and get the sly hit in, but it's still not enough. I think you should double the number and test it out, but that's completely down to you. I still think it's personally too easy, so yeah. I don't know what other people think about the hordes, but if you agree with me on this, you know, say it down below in the comments. Because I personally think that is too small at the minute and need to increase in size. Number 6. So, at the moment, the cities are just like a straight line, like this. You know, just one linear path. Got buildings here, building there, building there, building there, building there, building there. Now, what I think should be done, instead of having that, they should make the city into like a hashtag shape, like that. Then we can have buildings here, buildings there, there, you know, there, and you get the idea. And then, you know, like, the zones can, like, branch off into, you know, maybe that's a new zone up here, and then we can have a zone that goes there, and a zone that goes there, and a zone that goes there. And this sort of ties into my last idea. Make the map like a grid system again. Even, like, have it like this instead. So you've got your straight line, with all your buildings like that. My artwork is terrible, by the way. Sorry about that. You know, you could have like a square that goes round like that. The road follows it round, sort of thing. So you've got buildings all around here, and then you could have them on the edges, like that. You know, so it's like a little grid system. And then maybe the city just cuts off like that, cuts off like that. Or it cuts off up there, you know? Whatever. Number 7. So, my last Dead Frontier 2 idea is going to be, well, you guessed it, map size. Got you one city here, maybe have a connector, take you to another city, maybe that branches off to another city, this'll branch off to another city, that'll go to another city, maybe these little areas here can just be suburbs, you know, just little houses on either side of the road that can just be a straight street like that, you know, just houses again, houses again, houses again, houses again. You get the idea. Just at the moment, the game doesn't really have enough, like, travel element to it. It's just, you jump into a car and you teleport and you're there, you know. And I put this idea on Reddit before, and I don't really think the community got what I was trying to say, you know. Like, they didn't really think it was a good idea. I mean, there was a lot of people who thought it was a good idea, and I think who fully understood what I meant, but there was other guys in there who just thought, nah, it's a terrible idea. We shouldn't have the game like it was before, you know, where you could actually go and explore places. They just said that would be boring. So, I don't know why they thought that. You know, I would like to travel about and, you know, explore the suburb areas of Dead Frontier 2, if they even have some. But they should do, you know. You've got your main city here, you know, say that's Haverbrook, for example. And you've got all this empty road. And then, you know, that's Dalbo or whatever, for example. So, you know, you could put a lot of stuff in these little sections here, which could change the game and make it a lot more interesting. And you can even have a road that branches off this way, and then, you know, that takes you to Haverbrook, for example, or Greywood, sorry. And just have all these little areas that you can explore. And, you know, maybe you could have some, like, missions dotted about in these little red areas, you know. So you have to, say, travel from Greywood all the way to your mission, then come all the way back. And I think getting rid of the cars might, you know, bring back that value of travelling from city to city, you know. Say this is a 20 zone over here, and that's a level 10 zone there. So, you know, that's a lot of journey and travel time that you've got to go to, you know, and you sort of appreciate it more when you've reached that city, or when you've reached that city or that city. And the reason I say that you appreciate it more is just because, like, you know, while you're travelling there, you've got all those threats that could kill you on the way and reset you and send you back to the crap trade zone that you started at, or the trader zone that you didn't want to be at. You know, say you started at Dalbo and you got, like, you're so close to Haverbrook, and then some massive horde comes along and just fucks you there, you know. You go, ah, crap, I've got to start and travel from Dalbo all the way to Haverbrook again, you know. It's like, damn it. It just makes the feeling of getting there, you know, much more rewarding than actually just walking there or teleporting there and going, oh, well, I'm in the new trader zone now, so, you know, no big deal. But yeah. Tell me what you guys think about expanding the map. I think it should be done, and I think the fuel should be made super rare, or the cars should just be taken out of the game until they're actually operational. Because at the moment, they're just a big teleport, and I think once the cars are actually drivable in the game, people are going to be either really upset because they can't instantly teleport anymore, or they're going to be really happy because they got something to drive about. But yeah, there'll be no more teleport system once the cars get done, so I think you should get people used to travelling long distances so that they appreciate it more when the cars come into the game. But that's just my 2 cents on that. You can keep it the way you want if you want to keep it like that. But yeah, make the map bigger if you can. A lot bigger. Just fill it up with, you know, random things. All of these don't have to be suburbs as well. You know, some of these could just be dead roads full of car piles or whatever. You know, kind of like the Walking Dead. Try and get a picture up here of the Walking Dead. You know, sort of like that. That could just be your little area for the zone over here, you know. That could be like a car pile up area. Or it could just be a dead road with nothing on it. There's plenty of things you can do with it. But yeah, rant over. Make the map bigger if you can, and look forward to seeing future updates. Also, I apologise if this video comes across as me telling Neil what to do. I know I say you should do this a lot. That's just my way of saying what I think you should do. It's not me telling you what to do. So yeah, I've noticed after, you know, watching this back a little bit, you know, that I'm saying you should do this, you should do that. I'm sorry if I'm come across like, you know, a dictator or whatever. I should have said what I think should be done instead of you should do. So yeah. Apologies if I'm coming across like that. But yeah, guys, this has been my Dead Frontier 2 ideas video. Hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace, guys.